And we're back with our final segment of the Screen Team today. We are doing Trilogy Movies Part 3. All right, we've reviewed Back to the Future Part 3. We've done Insidious Chapter 3, and we're finishing up with Spider-Man 3. And with us to discuss this awesome movie is Sean and Kadam. Now, guys, I got to know, Spider-Man 3, is it a good movie, yes or no? Sean, go.
No.
Kadam, is it a good movie, yes or no?
10 out of 10. No, I'm lying. It was awful. It was god-awful.
Spider-Man 3 is a bad movie. End of review. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the Screen
Good night,
Team.
Cleveland.
So why is Spider-Man 3 a bad movie? Sean, I'm assuming you've seen all three of these in the trilogy, right?
Yeah.
Did you like Spider-Man 1 and 2?
1 and 2 are fantastic movies.
What happened with this one?
They overstuffed it, which is weird to say for a movie that's over 2 hours long.
Okay.
But they try to pile in 3 different villains with 3 different subplots. They try to pile in a romance subplot. They have Gwen Stacy show up from the comics and not really even do anything. And there's not enough focus. It just meanders through these different subplots. Mm-hmm. Sandman has not really developed much at all. Venom is not really developed much at all. Eddie Brock's developed a little bit. But he's kind of a jerk. They don't really go more into that. And it's just, there's way too much in the movie. It needed some streamlining. And just focus on 1 or 2 villains instead of trying to go for 3 when you bring in Harry from the previous movies. Mm-hmm. And it just did not come together at all.
So who do you think they could have done without?
I think Sandman probably, even though he's probably one of the better villains from the comics. Just he's superfluous to the story. Basically, he's there, so there's a big CGI monster at the end.
Yeah.
CGI, by the way, was not well done in this movie either.
I agree. Kadam, this was your first time actually watching this Spider-Man 3. Did you watch the first 2 at all?
Yeah, I watched the first 2. The first one in the movie theaters.
Uh-huh.
That kind of classic thing, and I thought it was great. Like Sean said, too many villains. The first one had the Green Goblin. Fantastic. William. Still, to this day, I think he needs to play the Joker. Just because if you ever see Google, man, it's ridiculous. And the second one, same thing with Doc Ock.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But the third one, yet again, John, bound to you, just because there's so many different villains, so many different plots, and I think it was like a low-budget movie. Maybe, I think it said $250 million. So, it's kind of...
So which out of all the villains are actually, I shouldn't even say villains, out of all the characters, what do you think this movie could have done without to make it better?
Maybe kind of back away from so many different plots, kick out a couple characters, just focus on.
But personally, which one would you like to see kicked out? Sandman, Venom, the Green Goblin Part 2, Gwen Stacy, with Mary Jane Osborne or whatever her name is. Was that right? Osborne, or is it Watson?
Well, I think in the comics it's Mary Jane Osborne because it's Harry Osborne.
Oh, they get married?
I think at some point in the comics they do get married. But
Giddy up.
Mary Jane Watson is her canonical name.
Okay. So is there anybody you could have seen in the...
Probably just the Sandman. He seems more of like a side chick person.
Yeah.
Just kind of there, at the end of it, you look like an overgrown gorilla, just a giant Sandman.
And I agree with you, Sean. The CGI was horrible, especially with the Sandman. They could have done that. I think if they were to stick with maybe, the tension between Harry Osborn's son and Peter Parker, that part, and if they wanted to throw in Venom, that's cool. I would want to see more of Venom. I thought Venom was a cool character.
I mean, they could have excised Sandman and the whole Gwen Stacy side plot and not lost anything. And it was kind of weird how they had Harry Osborn just have amnesia for the first third of the movie, and they could have gotten rid of that, had him be kind of the starter villain through the first half, and transitioned to Venom in the second half. I think it would have been a lot better movie. But I mean, you could have got rid of Gwen Stacy, the whole romance, Mary Jane and Peter breaking up, all that side plot could have been gotten rid of, and all the Sandman stuff. And the way they retconned how Uncle Ben died, saying Sandman actually killed him.
Yeah, did you like that? Because I didn't like that at all.
No, that was bad. It's just, they tried to do way too much.
Yeah.
And, it just kind of fell on its face.
What did you guys think of Topher Grace as Venom? You think he pulled it off?
I thought he was all right. I mean, the Eddie Brock as written in the movie is a jerk. And he pulled that off fairly well.
He's good at doing that.
Yeah, but I mean, as Venom, there is so little as of Venom, and especially when he would finally gets the symbiote, but then it would pull back so you can see his face with the fangs, and it just looked dumb.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he didn't do well, but I don't think he was ever really put in a position to do well either.
Right.
I thought Thomas Hayden Church did fine. Mm-hmm. He's a great actor. He did fine with what he got.
So after this movie, they stopped. Yeah. There was talk that that they're going to do Spider-Man 4, but they couldn't get the contract going with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire and everybody else. So they said, "Forget you guys. We're moving on to the Amazing Spider-Man." What would you guys? First off, have you guys seen the Amazing Spider-Man series? Yeah. Looking, because we have the option to look back and kind of decide. Would you guys have rather have seen this group make a Spider-Man 4, or did you like the reboot?
I was okay with the concept of a reboot because there was quite a bit of time. I didn't like how they just decided to do the origin story again because that felt like just a retreat and was really boring. Because everyone knows how Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man at this point. Just like everyone knows that Batman's parents get shot. You don't need to show that again.
Right.
So that made that kind of boring, and the second Amazing Spider-Man movie had problems of its own. But I was not totally against the idea of just refreshing the cast, but having completely rebooting it and just doing the origin story again, I was not a fan of that idea.
What about you, Kaden? Would you have wanted to see a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire and the rest of the crew?
Not really. I had kind of a problem with Tobey just because he seemed a little bit more on the whiny side.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else says. And the Amazing Spider-Man actor, he was good.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. I couldn't get over the fact that he was more of a Calvin Klein model than he was an actual actor and doing things. He just kind of stood there and made sure the light hit him right in the face.
Yeah.
And then that was about it.
Well, he was, though, he got more of the quippiness and the one-liners that are kind of intrinsic to Spider-Man. He got that a lot better than Tobey did. So
let me ask you guys something. 2016, we're expecting a Iron Man versus Captain America Civil War story, and spoiler alert, we're supposed to be seeing the new Spider-Man. He's supposed to be making a cameo in this. Are you guys excited about seeing Spider-Man again for the third time?
Sure. We've seen 5, 6 different James Bonds. That's the way the Marvel Universe is going to have to go at some point.
Yeah.
So, I'm fine with them recasting. I am excited for the movie itself. Spider-Man being in it's kind of cool. We'll wait and see what they do with him. Because this is the first time Marvel itself is going to get a crack at it. Even though I think Sony has some sort of creative, they can say no to some stuff.
Yeah.
But that's all weird contract stuff. So, we'll see how it goes.
Kaden, are you excited to see Spider-Man back on the big screen?
Excited to see Iron Man and Captain America battle it out. That'd be great. Read the graphic novels of what it's supposed to be about it. The Civil War, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man's pretty much just going to be like an added bonus. It's good, but then it's kind of bad. Why not just flip a coin? Maybe Two-Face it. Just flip the coin.
It'll be interesting to see. I don't know what the new actor's name is who's doing him, but
he's a Butterfield. I'm one to say.
I'm not sure, but he's a young guy, and I think a lot younger than Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were when they first started.
Yeah, because they're wanting to go with a high schoolish Spider-Man again. So
yeah. Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for reviewing this third installment in the Spider-Man series. Kadam, Sean, appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Coming up next week, we're going to have a full hour of Screen Team action for you. The first part of the show, we're going to be doing something we've never done before, where we review all 3 of the movies in a trilogy. We're going to be doing all 3 of the Lord of the Rings movies. Have you seen the Lord of the Rings movies?
No.
They're like 8 hours apiece.
Wait, what?
I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. I haven't seen The Godfather. I haven't seen any.
But you've seen Spider-Man 3. You're
Spider-Man
welcome.
3. Boom.
You are welcome,
Drops
sir.
Mike.
You can't see this audience, but I'm shaking my head very dismissively at Kadam right now.
So we'll be doing the Lord of the Rings trilogies for the first half. We'll be doing that with Laura Butler. And the next half, we've got movies about, time travel and love. Tobey Spencer will be in. We'll be doing Somewhere in Time, Kate and Leopold, and The Lake House with Keanu Reeves. I'm super, super excited for those 3 movies. It's all coming your way next Saturday at 6 p.m. For Sean, Kadam, and Chris, we are the Screen Team on today's Talk 930 KWOC.